One moment, hold on. I just need to finish this bit. All right. Hey, welcome. How are you? Still working on my contrived openings. Anyway, welcome back to What Are We Reading, where I talk about what I am reading at the moment. As I mentioned before, I tend to read books in parallel because, I don't know, it's 2024. Does anyone have a real solid attention span anymore? But anyway, my reading group has splintered off, as it often does, and a bunch of us are reading, right now, this book. If on a Winter's Night, a Traveler by Italo Calvino. It's weird. It's a weird book. If you haven't read If on a Winter's Night, a Traveler, here's the good news. You're never going to. You're not gonna read If on a Winter's Night, a Traveler. That's the whole point of this book. It is very, very strange. It starts off in second person. Now, second person, I think I may have noted in other places, second person is tough to pull off well. And it's a little unnerving because the book begin with this. You are about to begin reading Italo Calvino's new novel, If on a Winter's Night, a Traveler. Relax. Concentrate. Dispel every other thought. Let the world around you fade. Best to close the door. The TV is always on in the next room. Tell the others right away. No, I don't want to watch TV. Raise your voice. They won't hear you otherwise. I'm reading. I don't want to be disturbed. Maybe they haven't heard you with all that racket. Speak louder. Yell. I'm beginning to read Italo Calvino's new novel. Or if you prefer, don't say anything. Just hope they'll leave you alone. So the book goes this way. It has numbered chapters and named chapters. The numbered chapters are you, the reader, me, trying to read Italo Calvino's If on a Winter's Night, a Traveler. The named chapters are the beginnings of books that we end up reading while we are trying to read If on a Winter's Night, a Traveler. And the thing is, they're all the beginnings of different books because something has gone wrong each time, right? We think we're reading Italo Calvino's book, but it's not actually Italo Calvino's book because there's been a printing error. But it's really a fascinating opening. So we're like, okay, we want to read that book because that sounds good, but we also really want to read Italo Calvino's book because that's the book we bought. So we're going to go back to the bookstore and we'll pick up another book. Oh, that should be the one we're looking for. Maybe that's actually the continuation of the book that we were actually reading. So we're going to read that while we're searching for Italo Calvino's book. So you pull down that book and you start to read that. But the first chapter of that's not the book that we just read. That's a whole other book. And so throughout the whole thing, we are searching for all of these books that we have read and trying to find them and always getting misled or blocked or somehow something goes wrong and we can't read all these books. So yeah, it's very metafictional. If you're into that kind of thing, I think you'll enjoy it. If you're not into that kind of thing, I know some of the folks in my reading group are feeling a little frustrated with it because it is a little hard to wrap your head around. It does raise the question of agency in literature, right? As readers, we are used to being passive. We read passively. Things happen on the page. We are not involved with them. Italo Calvino said, no, in Italian, which I think is no. And he said, no, you're going to be involved. You are part of this, buddy. And he's going to take us on this whole weird roundabout trip. We're going to meet this woman and her sister. We're going to learn all about the Cimmerians and their ancient rivals, whose names I can't remember at the moment. And it's going to be weird. And I'm about halfway through it, maybe, I think. I enjoy it. I like a writer taking chances with things. I mean, I won't always read them over and over again. I'm probably not going to read House of Leaves again. But I enjoy seeing a writer kind of take a chance and stretch their legs and say, what would happen if I wrote this way? And so I really want to finish the book. Should be fun. His other work that's been recommended to me is Invisible Cities. So I will probably put that on my list. I think I've got it on my Kindle samples. So that may pop up in the sample selection one day. But anyway, yeah, If on a Winter's Night, a Traveler. That's what I'm reading right now. If you're reading If on a Winter's Night, a Traveler right now, by some wild coincidence, let me know. Let me know what you think. Let me know how far you've gotten and if you have the inner strength to put up with the shenanigans that Italo Calvino is putting you through. So thank you very much. I'm going to get back to reading. See you next time.